Okay, Broncos Country. We've had a little bit of a hiatus. We had our NRW meet up at the game in Nashville against the Titans last weekend. We've been out the rest of the week, though, due to a death in the family. So we appreciate you being patient with us. We've missed you, but we are back today. Well, I'm back today, at least for right now. Getting ready, pregame against the Raiders. There is no bigger Raider hater in the world. Y'all, it is Raiders week. Let's go.
Williams takes the handoff, and Williams, nice second effort, still going. Javonte Williams carrying defenders. Second and 4, Jamar Jefferson in the game for the first time today, and a diving interception made at the 12-yard line. Justin Simmons with a spectacular pick.
Broncos Country, let's ride.
What is up, Broncos Country, and how you doing, NRW Crew? And welcome to the Get Bucked Game Day Show here on the Nothing Rhymes Network. We have an awesome show. Well, I have an awesome show for now. I'm hoping one of the others will be able to join me soon, but regardless, we're here. Broncos play today. It is game day. A little bit of a disappointing game this last Sunday, but you know what? It's another week. It's another week. Any given Sunday, right? We are taking on probably our most hated division rival, the Las Vegas Raiders, and I for one am pumped. I love Raider Week. I always love Raider Week. Those were my favorite games to go to when I was a kid. Was Raider Week with my grandfather. It was awesome. All right, guys. So before we get any further, welcome to the Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue Network. This is the Get Bucked Game Day Show. I am your host, Johnny Baki, aka the Mile High Viking. This is fan-led, fan-created for the fans. Guys, all we want to do is talk Broncos and football. Period. Don't want to talk about anything else. I'm just kidding. We talk about a bit of everything. But we are here to talk Broncos. Guys, if you like what you see and if you like what you hear, please like, subscribe, share, comment. I don't have them in the right order. That's okay. It's like, subscribe, share, comment, send it out there, guys. Let's build the family. Let's build the group. All right. Let's talk Broncos. The more people we can get in the chat, the better conversations we can have. Heck, they don't even have to be Broncos fans. Those are some of the most fun conversations that we have. In addition, guys, if you would please look in the bio below. There is a link down there. I'm going to bring it up right now for the Nothing Rhymes shop. Guys, get in there. Get you some swag, some merch. We got all kinds of designs. We have a bit of everything. We have shirts, hoodies, stickers, accessories, aprons, buttons, even pillows. We have bandanas. Why not? For your dog, for you, it doesn't matter. Guys, jump on in there. Get some Nothing Rhymes swag. You won't regret it. I promise you, high quality stuff, real good, and you're going to love it. Again, thank you for joining me today for the Get Bucked Game Day Show. I'm going to take a drink of my beer. My mouth's a little bit dry. There we go. We've already got quite a few of our friends here in the chat. We got our boy Dave Glassman, who reiterates what I said a few weeks ago: embrace the suck. You know what? You're right. That's why I said it. We got to embrace the suck, you guys, because right now we have to admit it. We've sucked. We've absolutely sucked up to this season. But you know what? If there's one thing I know, it's that you can only suck for so long, because when you suck badly, the only way you can go is up. So we're going to get there. It's just going to take some time. Let's embrace the suck for a little bit longer. We have our boy Dave Glassman. He says in the Super Bowl era, has there ever been a 0-0 game? If not, this could be the week. Wow. Love the Dave. I love the vote of confidence. I got to fix the axe. That's my new bit of that's the new bit for the Broncos or the Mile High Viking. That's right. I'm not rocking the face paint today like I did at the game last weekend. No, maybe I should from now on. I don't know. It's kind of hard to get off though. Anyway, guys, I don't think, to my knowledge, there has never been a 0-0 game in the Super Bowl era. I still don't think it's going to be this week, and there are several reasons for that. We have Andy Schrant in the house, and he says, let's see, where did I see it? There we go. Kubiak calling plays will be refreshing, but what the hell is Hackett doing now? Well, hey, I couldn't agree with you more, Andy. I was looking at it earlier when I was in the group chat with Jay and Isaiah, who hopefully will be here, if not during this show at some point, at least during the post-game show after the game. We were talking, and when the news came out about about Clint Kubiak calling the plays today, Isaiah was like, why? And I was like, well, it's plain and simple. Nathaniel Hackett is under a lot of pressure right now. I guarantee after the loss to Tennessee last week, which the three of us, we were at the game. We met up with a lot of Broncos fans. That's one thing that was exciting. There was a lot of Broncos fans. The tailgate was awesome. We had a lot of fun in the stadium. I even made friends with some Titans fans that I was smack talking with. They're friends of mine on Twitter now. We've even been talking all week. It was a blast. But it was painful to sit there and watch. It stunk. It hurt. It was painful, you guys. Oh! But one thing I can say for sure is that, again, the definition of insanity. I continue to say it all season long, right? And here's to all of you, by the way. If you're drinking with me, please drop a cheers in the comments. I've said it all season long. If you continue to try to do the same thing over and over again, expecting the same or expecting different results, it's insane. It's not going to work. And that's exactly what we have been seeing from our fearless leader, Nathaniel Hackett. And I for one, am sick of it. So here's what I believe is going on with the reason that he has given play calling to Clint Kubiak. Basically, it is kind of an easy get out of jail free card, at least for right now. All right, because if you look at it, he is under immense pressure right now from George Payton, who is under immense pressure from the new ownership. And they're sick of losing. I mean, the Waltons came in here and they said that their number one goal with buying this team was winning, right? I mean, I remember that. I'm sure you all do too. Was that their number one, all they cared about was winning. And they have barely won. And they are sick of it. Now, there's been some rumors out there as to what's going on between Russ and Hackett and Russ and a bunch of other things. I don't know what the truth. I don't know what the truth to all of that is. I'm not going to pretend to. But one thing I do know is that the play calling has been painful, to say the least. And I mean, I think you all can agree with me. And so Nathaniel Hackett is sitting here knowing that his job is at major risk. Major risk. He is not going to be lasting much longer. Granted, from Benjamin Albright, the Broncos insider, a good friend of the show, shout out Ben Albright. Had we not won the game in Jacksonville 2 weeks ago, or against Jacksonville 2 weeks ago in London, Nathaniel Hackett would have been fired. He probably would have been on a separate plane home from London. However, we won. So it sounds like they're going to give him the rest of the season to try to make something happen. Now, whether that happens or not, I don't know. But what I do know is that right now the pressure on him is immense. And so what does he do? What is a guy to do? Well, really the only thing at this point he can do as the head coach is head coach and let somebody else call the plays, because apparently he's just unable to do it all. And no one should. That's why you have other coaches, right? That's why you have a staff. So he's good. He's doing the easiest thing he can to save his job right now. And that is to let Clint Kubiak, who's currently the quarterback's coach, but is the only coach on this team currently with any offensive play calling experience, and he called some pretty dang good plays up at when he was with the Vikings. So hey, let somebody else do it. If it falls apart again, that guy now can possibly some of the pressure can be thrown off on him, and that's Dave Hackett's job. It's kind of that's just how it works. That's business, y'all. That is business. So here's where we are. Kubiak will be calling plays today. And just like our buddy Andy Schrant said, I think it's a breath of fresh air. Hopefully we see something new, something exciting, something that we have, and it opens up. We see it click. Who knows? We might not. But again, I'm so sick of seeing the same thing over and over again that isn't working. So at least in this case, I might see something new. At least it's hope for something new. We'll see. Who knows? So going back to the comments, our buddy Micah Donfnier, the Don, my buddy from the Army and avid Raiders fan, in the chat, he says, here we go again. Yep, here we go again, buddy. And here's the thing, guys. Looking at this game, these two teams both suck right now. Both teams have pretty piss poor records. And on top of it, excuse me, I'm still getting over that cold. Both teams also have been absolutely devastated by injuries. Devastated. And anybody who thinks that that a lot of the Broncos' woes don't come from injury is not paying attention. We are talking about so many of our starters. We are on our the majority of our offensive line right now is third stringers. I mean, we have been absolutely at the wide receiver position, at the running back position. Russ is surrounded by is not surrounded by all of his weapons anymore. And the guys that protect him are also not the guys that you necessarily want being the first stringers protecting him. That's where we're at. And the Raiders aren't much better off. Their top two receivers. Well, sorry, not top two, because obviously they still have Devontae Adams. But two of their top receivers, Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow, both on IR now. There is so many things. The Raiders have been hit with injury. And I mean, I hate to say it to you, Raiders fans, Don, but when y'all hired Josh McDaniels, everybody in Broncos country said, just wait. Just wait. I don't know if y'all didn't believe us or what, but we all said it at the beginning. That was a mistake. And it's shown. It has absolutely shown in the way that the Raiders have played this season. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see somebody else calling plays. And I think that there's a chance that both teams are pretty evenly matched here right now. We also have our buddy Ty White-Tunis in the chat. He says, here. Hi, Ty. Raise your hand. Here. We also have our buddy Dave Full Glassman. He comes in. He's talking about basically not wanting to trade away everything unless we want to destroy our cap. We're in this for the long haul. Talking, I believe, about I believe it's about Russell Wilson, because I mean, honestly, you let him go now, like a lot of Broncos country seems to want. Dave is absolutely right. We destroy our cap in the future. Can't let that happen. So it's good. It's good. It's a great point. Dave says maybe some defensive points or a turnover that leads to an easy field goal, or maybe Kubiak brings the magic. Who knows? You're not wrong. There's so many things that can happen now that there is somebody else calling the plays. Now, Kubiak is on the staff, so he knows the plays. He knows the plays that they've been practicing. Maybe he will call the right plays at the right times because he has that experience. I don't know. None of us know because we haven't seen it yet. But again, at this point, I'm a little bit more optimistic and hoping that we might see something different than we've been seeing just because something different than what we've seen is happening. It gives me a glimmer of hope. I could be completely wrong, and that's fine. I've been wrong before. The second half of one of the 2/3 of the show, Jay Dreamweaver, he's in the chat saying, I'm with you in spirit for the pregame show. Let's go, boys. Broncos are going to score 30 today. In Kubiak, we trust. Whoo! Wow. Jay, 30 seems like a lot, but we'll see. Dave says, bet the under, Jay, to which Jay comes back at Dave saying, no way. So Jay is taking the over, and I will pull up the Vegas odds for today's game. And we will definitely talk about the over under, the spread, and who's going to win, and all that. So I don't know what you guys think. Keep me up in the chat. All right. Keep yakking. Help me out here. The more you guys, I'm by myself today. So you guys help me drive the show. So, some things you want to talk about, who are going to be, let's just start right now. Let's start right now, guys. Help me drive this show. Cause I'm used to having somebody to play off of, and I can do this on my own, but at the same time, it's more fun when I can interact with somebody, right? I mean, it always is, especially when it comes to football. So let's talk. Help me out, guys. Who or what to you are the keys to today's game? And then we can keep on going. For me, I think that the key to the game right now is going to be figuring out the passing game. The Raiders have a bottom half of the NFL secondary, and who knows what they're going to be able to pull off. And if maybe with Kubiak's play calling, we might be able to get some more passing going. We can hope. So, I mean, again, one thing we do have going for us today, we're at home. We're at home, which is a huge key to the game. As long as Broncos Country shows up the way that we know they can. And right now, I don't know. We'll see. So let me see here. What do you guys think? What are some of the keys to today's game? Come on, guys, help me out. I think obviously we got to run the ball. Russ is still proving very much to be the, play action, run to set up the pass guy, as he always has been. So we're going to need to be able to set up play action. That's going to be huge. So we need to run the ball. We need Latavius Murray. We need, some of our other new guys. This room has seen so many guys elevated and moved around. I don't even remember who all we have in the room off the top of my head right now. Obviously, I know Latavius Murray, and we still have Melvin Gordon. We need those guys to open it up, get running. I know we say this every week. Run the damn ball. Hopefully, Kubiak sees that too, since he's calling plays now and knows the right time, that he knows the right dang time to call a run play. That has to happen. It absolutely has to happen. So let's go with that. I think that they have to open up the run game in order to set up the pass, or it's not going to work. It's not going to work. All right. So right now the over under on this game is 41.5. All right. So Jay took the Broncos to score 30, which means, and he's taking the over, which means he expects the Raiders to at least score 12. Against the spread, the Raiders are +3. So the Broncos are actually favored to win this game by at least 3 points, and I think the Broncos cover. And then the money line, the Raiders are +125. The Broncos are -145, so that's great. Guys, why don't we just go ahead? Oh, look at this. We got our buddy D-Rock, also known as Shadow Jacker or Dat Guy here on this show, says, sad to say, but in order for us to win, the defense needs to score some points. You're not wrong. Well, I don't think that's the key to winning necessarily. I think it's important. I think it would definitely help us. Dat Guy. It's rough. It's a rough moment. It's rough when you sit here and have to think that even though your defense has been playing lights out all season long, that the only way that we can win a game is to have our defense score points. But from what we've seen, it can't get much worse unless they do. Or without them doing so. I mean, our offense needs to step up. We say it every week. And I know that they can. They just got to find that groove. And once they do, we're not going to be the joke that we are. I know that. I believe that. Granted, we're still plagued by injuries, especially offensively. And so that's definitely going to play a factor. Brandon Johnson and, all these guys coming up from the practice squad to fill the holes left by guys like Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler. It hurts. It sucks. I think if in the past game, we're going to see a lot to Sutton and we're going to see a lot to Dulcich today. Rightfully so. They're right now, in my opinion, for what we've got on the field, they've been they're our two biggest weapons in the passing game. So we'll see a lot of that, but it's very important that these guys open it up. They've got to, they have to. And I think that they will. I'm still not in a belief that we are, that this team is unsavable. I think the weapons are there in every way, in the quarterback game, in the passing game, in the run game. Excuse me. I do apologize, you guys. It stunk. That hurt. Oh, but I think the weapons are there. And I think that once they find the groove that they need, this team is going to take off. I still believe in that, not just because I'm a Broncos fan, but because I've analyzed these guys, the players themselves. And I truly believe, I've watched them and I've studied them. And I truly can tell you it's going to happen. It's just finding the right person to lead it and the right place to call, and then them finding a groove together, to come together in order to make it happen. It will happen. Now, the Broncos don't have the greatest record in the world right now. I mean, we all know that. We're 3-6 and it's painful, but guess what? The Raiders are 2-7. So, I mean, they're not doing, or they're currently doing worse than we are, which, I mean, it sucks for them too. That's why this may be one of the most unimpressive games of the season. I hate to say that because I love Raiders Week. But again, we got a 3-6 team taking on a 2-7 team, and we're at home. I think that's going to play a big hand in what's going to happen today. Dave jumps in talking about his bets. His 3-legged parlay, Las Vegas on the money line, the under and Broncos to score less than 18.5 points. Dang, that's painful, Dave. Oh, I hate that. Even though the Broncos are currently favored to win by Vegas odds, that's painful, Dave. But you know what? We'll see what happens. The Don jumps in again. He says the Raiders have a decent running game, but with a lopsided offense and a poor O-line, I think it will come down to the defense. Well, that's a good point, Don. I'm not sure off the top of my head where the Raiders defense currently ranks in the NFL, but I can tell you that the Broncos are still top 2. So if it comes down to the defense, the Broncos win this thing, in my opinion, based on what you're saying there. I know, obviously you're hoping for the opposite, Mr. Raiders fan, but if you're saying that it comes down to the defense, the Broncos definitely have a more complete and better defense than the Raiders do. And therefore, based on that logic, the Broncos will probably come away with this thing. That's what I'm hoping against, or it's what I'm hoping anyway. I'm sorry, I almost said against. I was reading a comment from our buddy Dave Glassman that had that word in it, and it just kind of got slipped in there. That guy says Russ has to abandon the pocket in order to make plays, which means throwing and scrambling, and that's very true. The thing of it is right now, the difficulty with all of that is Russ is right now with the offensive line being what it is. Russ doesn't have the protection to do that as easily. I mean, obviously the pocket collapses a lot more. Well, yeah, I mean, to a degree. Luke Wattenberg came in last week after our backup center got hurt in Graham Glasgow, which, I mean, I was excited that Graham Glasgow was in because we saw a big difference when he took over for Lloyd Cushenberry. Was excited. Now he's out and Luke Wattenberg is in. And that blows, but it hang on, give me just a second here. I'm just checking something out. I'm doing my best here, guys, while running this by myself. That is not something that that any of us do very often on this around here. It does, it's a little bit difficult for us to be doing this on our own. That's why I'm begging you guys to help me out in the chat a little bit here, because I'm doing my best. So let's see who we've got inactive for today on the Broncos. KJ Hamler is out. So is Jerry Jeudy. We knew that. K'Wan Williams, our very, very productive nickel corner, he's out. Running back Marlon Mack, safety Anthony Harris, Andrew Beck, our fullback / tight end, he's out, and defensive lineman Enyoma Owazurike. Well, but that means some really good things. I mean, it's not good that these guys are out for injury, but that means that some guys are coming back. That means Baron Browning is coming back. That means Tom Compton is coming back, and that means we may see him in at right tackle, which would be very good. Cam Fleming is back. I don't know if they're going to put him back in or rotate him and Calvin Anderson at the left tackle position, but having him at least be able to be there. And looks like Graham Glasgow's back too, which is a good thing. He's going to be active for the game, which is a good thing because he can take up center for us. Not that I didn't enjoy Luke Wattenberg. I mean, it was his first shot and he struggled a bit, and that stunk. But you know what? I was actually sitting 3 rows down from Luke Wattenberg's dad at the Titans game, and I got to talk to him for a little while. Really cool dude. And Luke is from what he told me, Luke was nervous. It was nervous for the first time he'd go in a game, and you could see that. You could see the nerves. I don't believe that he'll start this week. I think that if Graham Glasgow, since Graham Glasgow is active for this game, he will get the start at center. But at least now Luke Wattenberg has had his first NFL experience, and he probably did some practice with the ones this week before they knew whether or not Graham Glasgow would be ready. And so he might be a little bit more ready if he's called upon today. In addition, we also have wide receiver Kendall Hinton. He's active for the game. We've seen great things out of Kendall Hinton, the Hall of Famer Kendall Hinton, the only active player on the Broncos roster in the Hall of Fame. Love that guy. He's done some great things for Denver, and he's stepped up when he needed to step up. He may not be the greatest wide receiver we have on the roster, but I feel like he can make plays when you need him to, and that's what we need right now. Especially with our wide receiver room seeing some bitten by the injury bug, just as the rest of the team is. Oh, we got the Don jumping back in. He's telling me no. He's rooting for the Broncos to win in aspects for next year. That is, I mean, I'll give it to you, Don. I didn't think I'd ever hear those words out of your mouth. I've known you for years, and we've been at war with one another over Broncos Raiders. But you know what? Hey, if you want to root for the Broncos, by all means, buddy, take off the silver and black and put on the orange and blue, baby. We got that guy. He says, Hall of Famer Kendall Hinton, let's go! And I couldn't agree more. You know what? I'm excited to see Kendall back in the game. I was kind of sad that he wasn't on the active roster this year, but I understood why he wasn't. There were so many good receivers, and now those same receivers that we were all wondering at one point in the offseason, hey, how are we gonna figure out who to cut? Well, luckily we managed to hold on to every single one of them, really, and we're seeing those guys have to rotate in. So it's a good thing that we didn't lose Kendall Hinton to somebody else on like waiver wire or whatever. I'm very excited to see Kendall back on the field. I'm probably not going to run the full hour show since I am by myself right now, so this is a little bit difficult to do that, guys. But we're going to keep going. So I think I don't know. Why don't we talk about? We've already talked about keys to the game. What is the thing that you think might surprise us today? I think it's a good thing to ask. You know, what do we think might come as a surprise, either in by a player or by a position group or just in general for the team? What do we think might surprise us? One, I'm really excited to see us in our color rush uniforms. I wish that we would go to back to the Denver D, which I think may happen actually based on a recent poll on Twitter by the Broncos. I would love for us to go back to the Denver D, and you know, get that. But I love the navy blue. Like, that's the thing. That's why I love the color rush uniform so much, or at least the helmet. Is that the helmet has the navy blue as opposed to the royal blue with the Denver D on it. I love that, and I wish that would just be our full-time helmet. But we'll see. Dave jumps in saying he will be genuinely surprised if the Broncos score more than 20. All right, that's fair. We did score 21 against Jacksonville, so it is possible. It's more than possible. We'll just see. Any other surprises you guys predict? Please drop them in the chat so we can talk about them. Don keeps dropping me one-letter comments in the chat stream, which is kind of fun. I'm trying to figure out what he's trying to say based on one letter. But I think I will be honestly surprised if Kubiak doesn't try to make us a run-heavy offense, at least in the beginning. If Kubiak, Don says he's putting on the orange and blue just for today. All right, I can respect that, Don. I can respect that, buddy. I think what would surprise me the most is if Kubiak comes in calling the plays and calls things exactly the same as Nathaniel Hackett's been. One, because he's got experience already as a play caller. So I think he's going to see, I think he's already seen and knows what's been going wrong in a lot of ways and knows how he would do it differently. Otherwise, what's the point? So I think I would be surprised if we just saw us take the field and went pass heavy like all game long. That's been a big issue. That's been a really big issue, especially when you're the kind of team that needs to run the ball to set up play action and to set up the pass. So that's what I think I would be surprised by. Why don't we go ahead and get to one of my favorite segments, the Mile High Menu. Again, it's just me, guys, so I'm counting on you to toss me what you're eating today during the game. Here we go.
I know, we kick it like no one else. We kick it like no one else. Listen out, there ain't nothing like this. I know, we kick it like no one else. We kick it like no one else. Listen out, there ain't nothing like this.
Okay, guys, it's time for the Mile High Menu. Oh, real quick before I do that, that guy says Broncos Viking. Question: there's murmurs of if they fall today that people will start boycotting the Broncos by not attending the game. My thoughts. Ooh, okay. All right. So I have several thoughts on this subject, and then we'll get to the Mile High Menu. I saw that comment, and I wanted to get to it because I'm very passionate about this subject, and I have been in the past, very, very much so, very, very outspoken about it. Anybody who spent any time with me knows exactly what I think of this. I think if you've heard, I don't know if you all remember or anything like that, but my opinion of like our own fans that will boo their own team is very low. Okay, I'm just going to say that first. My opinion of fans who don't stand by their team through the good and the bad all the way through, very low opinion of them. I'm sorry. It's a fact. It's what it is. I am a diehard fan. I believe in the Broncos to my very core. I will never boo my own team. Now, if one of my guys does something really stupid, knocks someone's helmet off and beats him with it or something, I might consider booing him for that, because that one, that doesn't help our team in any way, and two, it's childish. But at the same time, if you're losing the game, they know how badly they're doing. And believe it or not, they're more pissed off than anybody in the stands is that they're losing. Trust me. I've played the game. I've played all kinds of sports, and I can tell you right now, no amount of booing or boycotting is going to really help. It's not like the Broncos players are going to look at the stands and be like, "Uh-oh, numbers are down, guys. We better pick this up." It's not going to help. Okay? So there's no point to it. If you're a fan, be a fan. That's how I look at it. Boycotting the game, leaving the game early when you're in overtime, things like that. I will be in those stands. My TV will be on with the game on until the final seconds tick off the clock. And because I am a true fan. Now, I'm not saying y'all aren't fans, but I'm saying if you're going to claim to be a fan, act like you're a fan. Okay? Yes, it sucks. It does. We do not like to lose. Human beings as a whole don't like to lose, but ultimately, it's not up to us. Okay? The players, it's up to them. What happens is up to them. That being said, boycotting the game is going to do nothing. Boycotting the game, not showing up at the game, even though you paid for tickets, not showing up is not going to change the outcome at all. It might change the outcome in only one way, and that's that it knocks down some crowd noise, which can help the team. But beyond that, you're not helping anything. You're not, and it's not making a statement. It's not like Cortland Sutton's down the field looking up at an empty seat going, "Did you guys see this? Frank didn't come." He don't care. All he cares about right now is making sure that he does the best he can to win the game because it's his team. He's on the team. He's a player. He wants his money, and it's not all about money, but he wants his money in the future. And he can't make that money if he looks like crap. So that's what's motivating him. Looking up and saying, "Oh, shoot, Kevin didn't come." Guys, Kevin's not here. But it's not going to help anything. So why do it? You paid for the tickets, show up. That's all I have to say about that. We got that guy. Now we're moving back. All right. You're right. You're right, Dave. 20,000 no-shows is different than just Frank or Kevin. You're right. It is. But again, what does it do to change the outcome? What does it do to fix the team? Not a damn thing. It pisses off the owners. Sure. It pisses off the owners, and then they have to try to figure out how to get those ticket sales or whatever back up. Excuse me. But again, it's not going to help the outcome of the game at all. Any of them. You can at least go, you claim to be a fan. You got tickets. Go to the game. It's a good time. We were at the game against the Titans this last week. We lost. And it was ugly. All right. And guess what? We had a blast. We may have lost. It sucked walking out of the stadium, wearing the losing colors. But you know what? We still had a blast. Show up. That's all I'm saying. I get it. You're right, Dave. 20,000 no-shows is way different than just Frank or Kevin. Or Larry. Larry too. But the point is, show up. You're a fan. You claim to be a fan. Show up. Because I'll tell you right now, you don't want to go? Send your tickets my way, okay? I'm not even in Colorado, but you send me a set of tickets just out of the, because you don't want to be there. I will find a way to get there because I will be at every game possible, win or lose. So guess what? You don't want to go? Throw them at the Mile High Viking because the Mile High Viking will be there. All right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, there you go. Dave says it. The tickets are already sold. They just lose on concessions and it sends a message to ownership. But again, the ownership already, I agree with you, Dave, to a degree. To a degree, I agree with you. However, space, what message? Because they already feel it. They are already seeing it. They're the owners who look like idiots for buying a losing franchise right now. They bought this team with the intention of winning. And they believed going into the season, just like the rest of us did, that this team, this coaching staff was headed towards something amazing. And they are just as disappointed as we are. They don't need a message. They already see it. It doesn't help. Like I said, send your tickets my way. I will go. I will grab as many of my fellow Broncos fans, and we will be there. Go ahead. Don't want to go? Fine. Call me, hit me up on Twitter and tell me you're sending me your tickets. And I'll be in Colorado tomorrow. I'll be in Colorado next Saturday. I'm just saying. Okay, well, not Colorado. I'll be in Carolina. I'm not actually going to be there. I'm saying send me your tickets and I'll go if you don't want to. Okay. All right. So now that that's been said, we beat that one to death. Let's talk mile high menu. All right. That guy comes in saying pizza with some pigs in a Snuggie. I like that. Pigs in a Snuggie. Pigs in a blanket. Heard it all the time, but now I'm picturing some little hot dogs with in crescent dough with sleeves. So I like that. Pigs and Snuggies. We got let's see. Okay. We have the Don coming in saying he's going to get a bucket of mango habanero boneless wings with a couple Angry Orchards at the Warrior Zone in Fort Campbell. Wow, I hadn't thought about the Warrior Zone in a while. We all used to go there. And that's awesome, Don. Have fun. Enjoy those mango habanero wings. They are actually very good for being an on-post establishment. Most on-post establishments, the food is but the Warrior Zone had some pretty damn good wings. I'll give them that. So enjoy those. The Angry Orchards, if I may. I do like that you said Angry Orchards. If I may, drink the Angry Orchard down to the bottom of the neck and pour in a shot of Fireball. If you have never done that, it's incredible. It's cinnamon apple, and it makes it a cinnamon apple, and it is amazing. So that's delicious. And then going back, my mother jumps in. She says, your grandpa raised you to be a diehard fan. And she says, and she knows I will never waver. That's true. Just ask my mom, Johnny, what do you want for Christmas this year? Broncos stuff. What kind of stuff? I don't care. Broncos stuff. It's that simple. I'm very easy to buy for. Just buy me Broncos stuff. Dave comes in. He does agree with my diehard stance, but no-shows are the only real voice the fans have. And that's true. I don't disagree with that. But I still think it's stupid because it doesn't help. At the end of the day, it's like you said later, Dave, the tickets are already sold. The owners have already made their money. It's not going to send them that big of a message because they're already getting rich off of it, even with people not showing up. All they lose out on is concessions, and that is a drop in the bucket compared to ticket sales and everything else. So it sucks, and I get why these people want to boycott, but if you want to claim to be a fan, be a fan. I'm a firm believer, and I could be completely wrong in this viewpoint. I could be absolutely, completely out of touch, off base, whatever you want to call it. But I'm a firm believer, and if you can't stand with us when we're at our worst, don't you dare stand with us when we're at our best. It is an unpopular opinion with some people, but that's how I view it. That is how I view it. We are at our worst right now. We are. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't, no arguments. We're at our worst right now. But if you can't stand with this team while we're at the worst, when we finally, and they will, I've already said it a million times, they will find that groove. And when they do, this team is going to explode. So if you couldn't stand behind and with this team when when that was happening, don't you dare suddenly jump up and be like, yeah, good job, all right, when we're suddenly doing well again. Because that just makes you a bandwagon, in my opinion. And I'm sorry, be a fan the way you want to be a fan, but I cannot stand bandwagon fans. Fairweathers, bandwagoners, it makes me sick, okay? I'm just saying. And that's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. So if you got a problem with that, I'm sorry. We got Dave, coming back also saying, I buy Sunday ticket every year and watch every excruciating minute regardless of our record. And that's exactly what I do, buddy. I do not miss a single second unless I can't help it. I've got kids and they're much younger than Dave's. So there are times I have to step away from the game for, a couple minutes to take care of my children. But beyond that, I'm absolutely I'm absolutely watching every single second possible. Don says if it was a Raiders game, he would be there as well. They're 2-7, so they're worse than we are. But Don would be there. That's a true fan right there. Although that true fan right now wants the Broncos to win to help the Raiders have a better season next season with at least probably in the draft, I'm guessing. That guy says, side question, what's the signature dish of Colorado/Denver? That's a really good question. I've already, have been away from home now. I've been away from Colorado for over 14 years. I haven't lived there in over 14 years, but I grew up there, and I'm really trying to think if there's anything really signature about Denver food. Obviously you got the Denver omelet, but I don't know if that's really it's breakfast. Okay. I don't think it'd be considered a signature food. Obviously, like here in Nashville, it's a Nashville hot chicken sandwich. It's very famous, very popular. So I'm trying to think for Denver. It would not be, contrary to popular belief, it is not Rocky Mountain oysters. Give me a minute on that. There, Shadow. I'm gonna think on that. I will say this: some of the best, at least Tex-Mex food in the world I've ever had was in Colorado. Very large Hispanic community and very good Mexican food. The pork green chili, it doesn't get any better, in my opinion. There's a lot of fusion now. Colorado's kind of gotten woke, kind of gotten hip. Yeah, there you go. They just kind of agree with me. Mexican hatch green chilies. Pretty much anything made with hatch green chili, if it's coming from Colorado, is phenomenal. So there you go. My mother jumping back in. We've already been at our worst in years past, and then won Super Bowls. She's not wrong, guys. Let's think about that. How many times did John Elway take the Broncos to the Super Bowl and lose before winning it? And furthermore, the Broncos were not really a winning franchise before John Elway. They had good seasons here and there, but there really wasn't, it really was not anything special until John Elway really came in. There was good things, but our best years came when John Elway got here, and that's when we as Broncos country got spoiled. So yeah, that guy says Tex-Mex is amazing and fusion foods are the best. Yeah, so there's a lot of fusion food and things like that now in Denver, and it's very good. Kind of a fun angle to take it on the Mile High menu there, Shadow. So appreciate that, brother. Give me a second. I apologize, guys. I got to get a drink. Oh, I apologize. Throat had a little frog in it there. Oh, so all right. So we've talked the Mile High menu. I don't believe anybody else is going to jump in and comment right now with their food of the day. So I'll go ahead and give mine. I think I'm going to do some of my kind of weird enchilada take. Where I take the frozen burritos, I put them in a casserole dish with some green enchilada sauce, some cheese, bake it with some pico and some green chilies, bake it for an hour, and then at the end, I take it out and I crumble some tortilla chips over the top, scoop them out and eat them with some sour cream and guacamole. Very good. That guy asked, is Coors big in the Mile High? Yes, it is. Coors is brewed in Golden, Colorado, which is right next to Denver. That's the headquarters. That's where the brewery is, and it's very popular there. Although I'm not the biggest fan of Coors, I've never really much liked the taste. It's a little too mild for me. I like a bit of a heartier beer. I like my cervezas. I like Corona and Modelo. And then I love my German beers. I honestly don't drink much in the way of the big American five, Miller and Bud and Coors, Bush, and those. I really don't touch those very often. Now, Dave does say that Colorado has great craft breweries. That's completely accurate. Colorado is probably, I honestly think Colorado now would probably have more craft breweries than anywhere else in the country. So yeah. So when he thinks Colorado beer, Coors doesn't even cross Dave's mind. That's what he says. And he's not wrong. I think of New Belgium. I like Fat Tire, Left Hand. There's a whole slew of others. I'm trying to remember which one Dave turned me on to. I think it's the Nothing Rhymes with Orange. Anyway, they're very good beers. Very good beers. And my grandmother apparently booed my Coors comment because my grandmother loves her Coors. And that's fine, Graham. That's fine. Love it. But I don't love Coors. I never have. If I had to pick from the big five American, the five big American, novelty beers, I'd honestly go Budweiser. Sorry, Grandma. That guy says Natty Light / Bush was the thing to have back in the day. Not anymore, buddy. Not anymore. Oh, it tastes like piss. Dave says Oscar Blues, which, yes, Oscar Blues, founded in the town that my grandparents lived in, that I spent a lot of time in growing up in, Lyons, Colorado. He says ska. Everything Rhymes is from Oklahoma. My bad. I'm sorry. Breckenridge Brewing. Like I said, I love Left Hand. That's probably my favorite brewery in Colorado. It happens to be in my hometown of Longmont, but they have some amazing beers. I've only found one gas station in Tennessee since I've lived here in the last 8 years that sold anything from Left Hand in Longmont, Colorado. And I miss it very much. So if you guys ever want to do the Mile High Viking a solid and send me a 6-pack or a 12-pack of Left Hand beer in the mail, I would not say no. So, all right, guys. I think we're at about 51 minutes. So we're actually getting close to our hour mark. It's been a lot of fun. It's been very interesting doing the show by myself today. But, I welcome new things, just like I welcome new things like Clint Kubiak calling plays today. Oh, that guy, in reference to my grandmother, he says, the Coors slander just got me replaced with West Side Pookie, a.k.a. Isaiah, in the will. Yeah, he probably already replaced me. I'm pretty sure my entire family loves Isaiah more than they love me. And that's okay. He's really endeared himself to my family. So yeah, I'm sorry, Grandma. I just don't like Coors much. Coors Banquet I can handle, but regular Coors Light I won't even. Oh, look at this, guys. I told Don when he goes to the Warrior Zone on Fort Campbell, when he gets his Angry Orchard, to drink down the neck and pour in a shot of Fireball. He says he's getting it. Yeah, I want you to taste it, and while we're still in the chat, Don, I want you to tell me what you think, because it's good. It's good. Let's see. Andy asks, how much faith do I have about Kubiak's impact for the offense? Well, I kind of already touched on that a little bit, Andy. Is Clint Kubiak actually did very well when calling offensive plays up in Minnesota. Do I think he would have been ready for a head coaching job yet? No, I don't. But from what I've seen, it looks like Nathaniel Hackett may not have been ready either. So that being said, what Clint Kubiak, the kind of play calling he was doing with Kirk Cousins, who's a good quarterback. I still personally believe Russ is better ultimately. He did very well calling those plays. So I don't know. My faith right now is based, Andy, in the fact that it's something different. Nathaniel Hackett is finally saying, okay, all right, I get it. I'm screwing up. I got to do something. And that's what he's doing. So to at least the opportunity to see something different right now, that is where my faith lies. Do I think that Clint Kubiak is going to be the offense whisperer, or whatever you want to say? I don't know. I would love that. If he does great, I would hope Nathaniel Hackett would be like, okay, guys, I really don't have a choice. Clint's calling the offense the rest of the season. But if he does, who knows? We'll see what happens. But at least for right now, at least for this game right here, right now, that's right, right now, it's something different that we haven't seen yet. Because we have seen now 10 weeks. Well, 9 technically, because there was a bye in there. But so 9 games called the exact same way over and over, almost every single one to the same outcome. So now, regardless of whether or not I really know what's going to happen, which I don't, with Clint Kubiak calling the plays, I think at least it's something we haven't gotten to see yet. It's something different, and that gives me hope. So that I hope that answers your question as best I can there, Andy. But that's kind of where I'm at with it. And that guy said, who's that guy? That guy says 50-50 with Kubiak with me. And because again, we don't know. It's a flip of a coin right now, whether he's going to be better than Hackett or not. We'll find out. We'll see it today. And then that guy asks, is Russ acceptable to change? I think so. I think he is. I hope he is. He comes across to me as the kind of guy that would be who wants to win enough that he'd be willing to change whatever he had to. He would be willing to change in the interest of winning. Because if there is one thing I do know about the guy, it's that he wants to win. He loves to win. So I would really hope, sincerely, I would sincerely hope that Russ is able to make some changes. Do I think he will? I don't know. We'll find out. And then Andy comes in and says, if Russ can act like a real elite QB, so much would change. And I agree. And I don't think it's just him. I think he's part of the equation that is, as to why we've struggled the way we have, but I don't think he's the entire equation any more than I think Hackett is into the entire equation. I just think that they haven't all been able to get on the same page. They have not been able to get coaching, quarterbacking, playmakers locked in on the same. They're all cogs, you guys. Think about a watch, right? You think about a watch. You got little gears, little cogs, all turning in there. More than one, multiple different little cogs turning and turning and turning to make the entire watch run as a giant whole. If one of those cogs comes loose, bends, breaks, falls apart, whatever, the entire thing breaks down. And you better hope it's not Swiss made, because then you're going to be paying a lot of money for it to get it repaired. but that's a good way to look at it. Every facet of this team are these cogs, and they all have to fit together, and they all have to run simultaneously correctly in order for the machine to run properly. And I think that's what we've got. We've got, in my opinion, what has the potential to be a good coaching staff that's just not running quite right. Okay. And then you got the quarterback situation. You got a quarterback who's done something the same way for a decade, and now is on a different team with a different system, with a different coach, and he's trying to figure it out. And then you got the playmakers who are still trying to figure out where they fit, who's his go-to, and all this, and also a complicated system. They're figuring that out, right? And so if you got an offensive line, and then of course factor in injuries, that's the broken cog right now. Some of our best players, most of our best players are off the field right now with injury. They're sitting on the bench. That's a broken cog. So right now our watch is all over the place. In fact, I wouldn't even think that the hands are turning right now, because not everything's not working as it should together. Now when they get there, and they will, I truly believe it, it's going to run like a Swiss, like a Swiss watch, like a true handmade Swiss watch. It's going to be beautiful. We just got to get there. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. That guy says good/bad news. Ravens are struggling against the Panthers. I see that. I can see both sides of that being good and bad. Obviously, we have the Panthers this next week, and we have the Ravens the week after. Do I think that those are winnable games for the Broncos? I absolutely do. I think that'll be a hard fought. I think we have a better chance actually against the Panthers than I do the Ravens, but I do believe that they're winnable. So we'll see what happens, right? 3-3, fourth quarter at 9+ minutes. Wow. That guy says exactly. I get it. All right, guys. So last thing we're going to do is we do every week is time for you. It's time to place our bets.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it.
Hey, guys, it's time to play some bets. So, as I previously stated, I have here Vegas odds on this game, okay? So, currently, the Broncos are 3-point favorites to win this game at home. All right, Broncos -3. The Raiders are +3. All right, that puts them on the money line. The Raiders at +125 on the money line. And the Broncos are -145 on the money line. All right. Broncos favored to win. The over-under is 41.5 points on the day. So, what do we think is going to happen? Dave, that guy, Don, Andy, everybody, Ty Y, everybody get in here. Tell me, do the Broncos win? Do they cover? Or who wins? Do the Broncos cover? And what's the over-under? Do you take the over-under? What's your final score prediction? So I'll go first. All right. I don't know Isaiah's pick because Isaiah is radio silent at the moment. But I know that my cousin Jay, he already talked about it, picks the Broncos to cover, picks the Broncos to win to win the game. And he takes the over with the Broncos scoring 30 points. So Jay's, he did not give me a final score prediction, but since he picks the Broncos to score 30 and he at least is taking the over on 41.5 points, that means Jay predicts that the Raiders are going to score at least 12 points on the game. So let's see. That guy says under 40 points combined. All right. That's looks like that guy takes the under. So Jay is over. Broncos cover. Broncos win over at least 30-12. Yeah. Dave says he already told us the bet, but he thinks we can win something like 13-3. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. I am personally going to take the Broncos to cover. Okay. I'm going to take the Broncos to cover, predicting and they win. Broncos win and they cover. But I am going to take the under, but only slightly. I take the Broncos to score 24 points rather than Jay's prediction of 30. 24 points to the Raiders. I'm going to say the Raiders score 12. All right, so 24-12. All right, so I take the under, Broncos cover and win. Don just tried the Angry Orchard with a little bit of Fireball. He says, "Oh man, that's smooth." And if you guys haven't tried that, go try it. You can also do it with Red's Apple Ale. It's very good to do that with. Pour just, like I said, you just drink just the neck down right there. Yeah. Pour in a shot of Fireball and it's really good. It's really, really good. Really good. Excuse me. All right, you guys. Well, we are less than an hour from we're less than 20 minutes from kickoff. So I think I'm going to go ahead and bounce. But don't forget to catch. Oh, here we go. That guy. In my amateur opinion, we're not breaking 20. Okay. We'll see, buddy. I hope you're wrong. I really do. But on the off chance that you're not, we'll see what happens. All right. I think my giving the Broncos over 20 is my putting some faith in Clint Kubiak being the one that's calling the plays today. Wow. Don, the Raiders fan, picks the Broncos to win 21-10. So that means he also takes the under. but he does pick the Broncos to win and looks like to cover as well. So, guys, this has been an absolute blast. It's been very interesting doing my very first solo pregame show. Don't forget to catch us after the game. All right, after the game, give or take a half an hour. All right. Craig Banda. Anyone got a link to the game? You didn't hear it from me or have a site to watch it on. Says Craig Banda, which, by the way, real quick, on Facebook, Craig Banda, new name. Never seen you in here before, Craig. Here's to you. We always toast our new fans. So here we go. Here's to you, Craig. Damn, that's smooth. Craig, you didn't hear this from me, but streameast.io is a decent site to watch it on, okay? But you didn't hear it from me. Oh, well, you know what? Doesn't matter, Craig, that you're a Raider fan. No, what? I don't care. I don't care at all. My buddy in the chat right now, Mike Adamthneer, he's a Raider fan too. All right, we absolutely love getting to talk with fans of every team. It doesn't matter. Although I am orange and blue, I bleed orange and blue. I love football as a whole, and I love kicking it with fellow Broncos fans, but fellow football fans as well. And the more I can talk to anybody, the more fun I have. So, dude, come back after the game for the post-game show. We're gonna have a good time. I guarantee there'll be more Raider fans in here after the game. It always happens. Happens every week. We have more fans of the opposing team in the post-game show than we do the pregame. So here we go. He also says my setup is dope. Thank you, Craig. I really appreciate that. Yep, he says streameast.io. Yes. It should be there. If it's not, well, then I'm putting my foot in my mouth, but that's what I have had to watch it on in the past whenever I couldn't get it on in another way. So, guys, this has been a blast. I'm going to get out of here so I can go get my food prepped and ready to go for the game. My enchiladas, my homemade enchiladas. And then I will see you after the game. Half an hour, give or take a half an hour for the Buck Your Feelings post-game show. All right, guys, Jay at least should be with me for the post-game show, so I will not be riding solo anymore. Guys, it's been a blast. I would really appreciate it if all of you would please join me. I'm by myself, so I need y'all to help me right now for before the game mile high five, okay? Here we go. Get those arms out, Broncos fans. Let's go, Broncos Country and NRW Crew, and mile high five! Yes! Thank you, Broncos Country. Thank you, NRW Crew. It is game day. It is Raiders week. Let's get ready to play, and let's ride!